So in May I suffered quite a severe mental breakdown. I've always had mental health issues, but from May I was no longer able to work. And I got lost in the system for a lot of months. We were trying multiple different things and nothing was working. And then come September, my family were getting really distressed because they could sort of see the path that I was heading down, and we just didn't know what to do. And one evening I was in bed and it came to me all of a sudden, oh, I've heard about assistance dogs, but is that actually a thing? Could it possibly help me? So I contacted MaryRose, who's the chairman. She told me all about the charity. She was so friendly, so supportive. And then I found Bella because I needed a dog. Now, Bella's a rescue from the streets of Minsk. She was badly abused when she was found. And I really wanted to get a rescue because I knew that she was going to save my life. So it's quite important that I saved her life too. And the bond that we have is just amazing because of that. So she arrived to the UK on the 26th of September, and since that day we've been completely inseparable, and we've been working through RAD, and she's gone from a timid dog that was scared of everything to being really confident and allowing me to go out and about.
It's an old title, which is why we've reduced it to RAD to abbreviate it slightly. Basically what RAD is a mental health charity which encourages people who have got long-term mental health or poor mental health. So RAD is a mental health charity, and we encourage members who are suffering from long-term mental health disability impairments, which is protected in law, in English law. And we train the handlers to train their own dogs as their assistance dogs.
There's a lot of ignorance. I think, as you mentioned earlier, people know a guide dog for the blind. After that, they're just not aware. A lot with drivers and, well, everywhere, to be fair. You know, that's a pet dog, mate. You know, it's not a real dog, you know, in that respect. So, you know, we've had drivers as well, you know, say similar things like that, and I don't think it was, well, it is, you know. So it's educating the drivers. There are some councils that now include it in their tests, but a lot don't. So drivers are ignorant of the laws, and they shouldn't be. So we wanted to push this out, not just with our drivers. We came together with RAD over an incident between a driver and a dog, and that's how we got together. Something we've been looking to do for a while, but we didn't know where to go. So we got together with RAD and we're working on stuff now, part of the reason why we're here today.
So I'm very grateful in the fact that I've never really had much of an issue. I have had an issue with a member of the public not wanting the dog to be allowed into a place, but everyone that I've met is really good. I've only been in a taxi with Bella once, and I was actually suffering from a panic attack at the time. So thankfully the driver could see everything that was going on, and I was with my partner and he could talk them through, and Bella could just sit in the back pushed up against me to get that support, so we were able to get home. So I was really grateful for that. But I do hear a lot of stories of people being refused. Recently in the news, a blind person and their guide dog got refused from Marks and Spencer's, so that, you know, and everyone knows about guide dogs. It's very rare for people to know about assistance dogs. I was talking to my mum this morning, she says, oh yeah, I've always known about guide dogs, but it wasn't until we contacted RAD I knew about assistance dogs. So if a guide dog can be refused entry to a really public place, then it means it's even more likely for an assistance dog. So it's really great to spread the awareness, and it makes a massive difference if people are just friendly and welcoming, because you're already struggling with the day, and if I was refused entrance from a taxi, I would probably go home and I wouldn't leave the house for the rest of the day because it would impact me that much. So it's really great to spread awareness.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting. I think mental health is the invisible illness. It doesn't have a leg or an arm missing, so it just looks like you and I. But it's covered to the same level as a guide dog. So if you look at the Equality Act, it mentions guide dogs and long-term mental health as well.
Yes, that's right. We're starting with our drivers. We've got training videos which we've now worked with Rad on. We want to get it out to the whole industry, not just the drivers, not just the operators, but we want to get onto the licensing authorities, because we feel, you know, at the beginning they're going through the test, learning the rules of being a taxi driver, what they can and can't do, and this needs to be incorporated. So from a start, a fresh driver, if you were starting today, Phil, you're doing your test, it's included in there. We do child exploitation now, which is part of it, and I believe this should be involved as well. So yeah, it's going to be the bigger picture. We get that to everybody involved in the industry, and hopefully more. People that are not involved in the industry click on it and see it. Oh, I work in a shop, I didn't know that. So yeah, the bigger picture.
I think anybody who's suffering from a long-term mental health issue and they've got their own dog or they're looking to get a dog, come and speak to us and see how we can help you, and just look at some of the achievements we make with our members and how they stop suicides, they stop panic attacks. There's such a list of mitigation of the mental health symptoms that the dogs do.
Yes, by law, it's part of a licensing agreement, whichever council you deal with around the country, that you have to take an assistance dog unless you have a medical exemption. By that you have to go to your doctors and have it agreed. We've got, out of 400 drivers in Leicester, we've got 2 with exemptions. So yes, legally we cannot refuse them.
Great. Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you.
I view her as sort of a crutch to help me, so whereas someone that had mobility problems may need a crutch, Bella is that for me. She allows me to get out the door. I was housebound at one point and I couldn't leave, and we got Bella, and when you have a dog, staying in is not an option. You have to go out and you have to walk them, and she's so good because on days where I don't want to go out, she comes and nudges me and says, come on, it's time for us to go out. And also I was really struggling with getting out of bed, but you know, unless you want the dog to have an accident, you've got to get up and go outside, and just that going outside has been life-changing for me. I was at a point where I never thought I'd be able to go in a shop again, and she allows me to do that because she's there, she's sort of my partner, she's gonna help me. And one of the biggest issues with mental illness is you feel really isolated and cut off from everyone, but when you have a dog, you're never alone, and that's so, so powerful.